I've always been a bridge player almost since I was 12 years old, and in 1980 I was in university and I went to an international match and I saw the commentator there and I thought, I can do a better job than that. And 7 years later, the European Championships were held in Brighton in England, which is where I was born and brought up. And I asked whether they needed some help with the commentary, and I joined the team and became a commentator at that point. And a year later, the World Championships were in Italy. And I thought I'd like to work for the WBF, but I don't speak Italian. So I got a friend of mine to write a letter to the Italian Federation in Italian, asking whether they needed some help. And I don't know whether that was critical or not, but I got the job, and I've really worked for the WBF doing commentary ever since. So for nearly 30 years, I've been at all the World Championships and the European Championships and traveled all around the world, in fact, doing commentary and bulletins since then. I think the key to being a good commentator is that you need to be able to think fast, but you also need to be able to put yourself in the shoes of the players and not simply to find the winning decision. You also need to try and tell the audience what it is that the player is thinking about and why it is, if they are going to make a mistake, that this is actually a reasonable thing for them to do. It's very easy to look at all the hands and work out what is the winning thing to do, but that's not always the same as the right thing to do. The players can't see all the cards. They have to try to do the best with what they have in front of them and to draw logical inferences. Sometimes those inferences are logical, but they're wrong. And if you can put aside what works as opposed to what is reasonable, then you can entertain the audience, but you can also help explain why the players don't always play perfectly. One of the things you need to do as a commentator is you need to understand what the players' bids mean. So there is always a convention card, which is prepared by the players, which will tell you what their bids mean. Sometimes those cards are properly completed and sometimes they're not. But at this instant, I've probably seen most of the top players in the world over the last 30 years or so. So I already know a little bit about how they play, whether they're aggressive players or more restrained. So you can sometimes describe their state of mind. But knowing what they play is part of the story, and understanding their conventional agreements about card playing is also important, because not everybody has those same agreements.